Welcome to Life Lessons for a time such as now. Today we have an interesting topic, but before we get into everything, we would like you to subscribe, like, and share. And we also ask you for your comments. And we also would like us to send out prayers to Renee and her family. This is why she can't be here with us, so we want to hope that everything turns out well for her and hope that she'll be with us soon. So today we have some interesting things coming on. So before we do that, I want to say hi to Tracy. Hi, Trey. How you doing today?
Hey, Chris. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we're going to have some guests on, but before we do that, we have a guest host, and Tracy is going to introduce her.
Yes. Thank you, Crystal. So yes, again, as what Crystal said, that Renee could not be here for this episode, but we do send her our love and our prayers. And today we have a special guest, co-host guest, sorry, Juwanna. Hi, Juwanna.
Hi,
Hey.
hi everyone.
So we're so excited to have Juwanna here in the house with us. And this is going to be a really interesting topic. Juwanna, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I'm excited to be on the show. I've been watching you ladies and y'all are fabulous. Like what you're doing is really, really a great job. My name is Jwana. I live in the Poconos. And I moved out here since 2003 from New York City. And my life out here has blossomed since I've been out here. I've done things, I'm part of the community. So, and that's why I feel honored to be on the show and to share this show, with others, especially in my community, because a lot of us like to do things like this and get involved with things and hear other stories and share our own stories. I mean, so I'm looking forward to it.
So what is your experience in broadcasting? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Okay. Well, I had my own show. I was a DJ, quote unquote, not the actual DJ where you spin and mix, but I had it. My name was known. I'm known out here by a lot of folks. Know me as DJ Cookie. And I had my first show I've done was with 2 copper coins. It was a radio show. I had a co-founder with that. We had a radio show and then we had a business. It was Party with a Cause. So we loved the party, so we made it a cause to party. We would raise money that way or have parties to give donations to kids, for Christmas time, things like that. So then I had another, my co-host had moved away from the Poconos. So then I still said, you know what, I like this radio thing. So I went and had another radio show, which was, what was it called? It was, I forget the name of it. That's crazy. I get all nervous just now.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Right, but it was a good I got it here. Okay. It was It Is What It Is. It was called It Is What It Is show. I did have a partner and it was awesome. We played music, we did a lot of talk and everything. And then after that, I'm getting ready now to start another podcast. Well, a podcast. The first 2 was at a radio station. And this one is actually going to be a podcast like what you ladies are doing now. And to help highlight businesses and and people. And I just want all positivity, like all positive things about people. Because what you see on the news and the media, we need to control it a little more. And I just feel like what you're doing and what I plan to do, I don't need to hear negative. We can see it, we can hear it. They put enough of it out there. I just want all positive, good vibes, And I think we need more of that in our lives. Other than that, I get involved with the community a lot out here.
Well, sounds interesting. And that's a beautiful thing to help others. And we welcome you on the show, and we thank you for coming on.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we
Thank you.
do.
Yep.
Interesting.
So,
Welcome,
Crystal, who else
Juwanna.
do we have?
Well, for our topic tonight, our topic is from a man's lens.
Ooh.
So we invited two guests to come on to speak with us through a man's lens. So we have Darius and we have Al. So guys, say hello to our audience today. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. So, it's just, we usually just sit around, we talk, we shoot straight from the hip. This is not pre-recorded, well, made up or whatever. So we're going to ask you guys some questions. We would like to hear your answers from a man's perspective. Okay, because we know how we feel, but we just want to open it up because everyone hear us. Now we want to put a spin on it and have another view, which is the opposite sex, the man's point of view. So through your lenses, we're going to ask you some questions. How do you guys want to start this? Do you want to start with, well, first of all, we want to start with you all introducing yourselves and telling us about who you are, a little bit about yourself. So Darius, why don't you go first?
Well, as you said, my name is Darius. I live down here in Hampton, Georgia, about 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. Been an entrepreneur basically my whole life. Left the military, worked for the government, realized I need to work for myself. I've been doing it since 95. I had a few different businesses. I had barbershops, tailor shops. I done got into construction since I've been down here. Went to school to become an electrician. And really, that's what I'm mostly doing. But I basically now starting to learn how to do e-commerce. So in about 2 or 3 years from now, I'm just more or less going to be doing all e-commerce.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's very good. Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. How about you, Al? Welcome.
Well, welcome. Well, everybody calls me Al B, because my first name is Albert, last name Burton. So I'm known as Al B. I've been down here. I'm 59 years old. Well, I like to say young. I've been down to Georgia since 2006. I worked in law enforcement for 20 years in a correction facility. So I can tell you about some men, okay? I am currently pursuing cybersecurity. I don't know, it's something about security. I just like security, I'm sorry. I'm not married, I'm divorced, single. Actually, this is my second divorce, so I can tell you a little about marriage as well. It's a pleasure being here. I think I can come and bring a lot to the floor. So let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna find out now, right? Go ahead, Chris. We're gonna find out now.
I know that's right. We need some security. So we want to welcome you all here, and we really appreciate you taking your time out to join us on our podcast for life lessons for a time such as now. We do plan to or want to encourage people and encourage our listeners. So hopefully we can do that on tonight. So we're asking you to be honest, be real. You don't have to sugarcoat nothing. We want to keep it PG though. Okay.
I'm glad you slid that in there.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, you not to put that in there, so you want to keep it clean for all of our audiences. All right, so ladies, Juwanna, since you're our host, did you want to start with asking our gentlemen some questions?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to let you start.
Okay. Well, gentlemen. Okay, my question, and I just want to say sometimes my personal opinion of this question that I'm about to ask you, I don't think probably pertains to you right now because of our age, the age group. But if maybe you could take it back when you were a little, younger, maybe you could answer this, because I don't think this fits you now, but sure. I'm not trying to insult nobody. If it do, it's all good, okay? Don't be nervous. Why do some men say they prefer a natural woman, someone with no BBLs, you know, maybe no fake nails, natural hair. But then they turn around and chase those that had, like, say, BBLs, you know, long nails, you know, weaves. And why is that?
Well, let me just jump in. Men say that, you know, they'll chase after that, but they don't want to wake up to that.
Hmm.
So the chase is one thing, but
Okay.
the trophy is another thing.
Wow.
You understand
That's
where I'm going
strong.
with that?
Yeah, I like
In
that.
other words, okay, that's fine when you see it, but when you wake up to it and it's on the floor, there's something wrong with that.
Mhm.
Well, I
You
look
know?
at it from this point of view. I feel as though most men, the younger generation, because I have 3 young men, sons. They all between 30, 34 years old. And that's how they was groomed, more or less through video, TV, and all those other things. So they're more superficial than we were.
Right.
Like when I was growing up, any woman I met, the first thing, I don't want you wearing no lipstick, no makeup, no fake hair. I never liked none of that stuff.
Right.
Okay, and I've always been like that. I'm talking about since I was Crystal know, since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get on her by wearing lipstick when she was 13, 14 years old. You know, I just like to see a black, beautiful black woman, natural. Okay,
Right.
but the media teaches you beauty is only a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so that's my take on that.
Yeah. I mean, even if you go back in the days when I was being raised, they had afros. I don't remember no makeup. I don't remember no eyelashes. I don't remember no lipstick. All I remember was bell bottoms, skinny shirts, afros, no processed hair. I don't remember. If anything, you had a wig on, but that was it. So now that we're going into this age where everything is put on, it's put on. So if it's put on, it's gonna come off. So you see that, but do you really want that when it comes off? Because it's gonna come off.
Right.
So it's a fake. It's so fake until you lay up next to it and wake up to it and see how fake it is. You're putting layers and layers of makeup on, layers and layers of hair, nails, eyes. It's scary when you wake up to that person and it's not that person.
And that person don't even know who they are. You understand
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
Because when you're starting to put all of that stuff on, that means you're not secure who you are. So that's the first sign for me that when a woman's doing that, she's not secure with herself.
That's a red flag.
All right, because you don't see no men doing that. And listen, we get old, we get gray, we get all of that. We don't do all that enhancing type of stuff to make our stuff look to be more attractive to a woman. We have enough confidence in ourselves to know we're attractive how we are.
So
Big
can I
belly
just
and all.
add something? I'm sorry, I gotta add something because I'm hearing you guys talking and everything. But I do remember hearing Al saying that, you know, that you could play with that, right? But you're not gonna basically, you know, make them your queen, if you will. So you know, so those type of women will get played with, is what I'm hearing. And then I hear you, Darius, saying, well, a woman is insecure if she has to do those things. But for me, you know, and I'm hearing, you know, from a man's perspective, but I still have to speak on myself because I do wear lipstick and I wear certain type of things. And, you know, years ago, I used to wear weaves, right? But it was only to enhance. I took pride in, I guess, making myself more beautiful when I look in the mirror. Like, okay, girl, you know, you look good. It wasn't necessarily that I lacked self-esteem. It was to enhance. But then to also remember that men are visual and women know that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're visually
so
stimulated.
they do that.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Al. Sorry, Darius. I had to come in.
No, I respect what you're saying because men are very visual, but I'm visual as far as still what's natural. I like natural things. I've always been like that. I've been wearing sandals my whole life because that's like give me like a natural feeling. I wear natural color clothes. I mean that's written into my DNA. All right, so when I see a woman, it's like, okay, let's say like a woman from Jamaica or Africa, something like that. They wasn't raised up with all that stuff on there. I mean, they are now, but back in the days, they really wasn't. All right, when they started coming to America, they became Americanized when they started wearing all that type of stuff. Only thing they really came over here was braids. Okay, They didn't wear makeup. They might have wore some jewelry. I had no problem with jewelry, even though I don't wear jewelry either. All right, but they was confident in who they were. And with me physically being attracted mean you're beautiful inside and outside. Because that attracts me to you more. Because you have a very woman made up all kind of ways and ugly as hell.
That's good. That's
Right.
good.
And
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. So that was a very good question, Juwanna. And and I concur with Tracy. I used to not really wear weaves too much, but I did wear like hair pieces or whatever. And it didn't make me or break me because I could be talking to a dude and just pull it off and keep on talking. Because I already knew.
No, that's true.
Because I was secure in myself. So me adding on things or doing things to enhance myself, it wasn't because of insecurity, because I knew I was it anyway. So anyway, with all that being said, we want to go on to the next question. It's only 45 minutes, so we want to try to get some more point of views through your guys' lenses. So I have a question. Or do you want to go first, Trey?
Okay. So the question that I have is, what makes a man cheat?
Mm.
Oh, I got plenty for that one. You might want to close your ears.
But that's what all women want to know, right? All women
Hey.
want to know what makes a man cheat.
Well, it's more than one reason, first of all. All right. The first reason is because when he met her, she acted a certain way. She treated him a certain way. But then she just started taking him for granted. All right. So that makes his eyes start wandering. All right. Because if you come to me loving, giving it up, cooking, washing clothes, all the things that you think that you know as a woman makes a man happy. All right, this is real life. You know what makes a man happy. Then once you start getting in a relationship with him, like getting deep into it, you just, well, I ain't worrying about how I'm mad at him. And then you start using your body as a weapon towards us. Okay. And and that right there is like that hurts a man more than you say. Men don't speak. We hold stuff eternally in. That's just we built that way. But so when we start acting out, then we start seeing women who again we're attractive to. They start giving us that attention, and our attention start going towards them. Because I know women do the same thing. If a man is not paying them attention, they love when another man flirt with them. They eat it up. So it ain't always why men cheat on women. It's why people cheat on each other.
That's right. That's right. Because
go ahead.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, but I'm gonna see if I can unload it.
We here for it.
Like Darius said, a woman holds sex. I mean, a man's mind thinks about sex almost all day. If he's not working, he's probably thinking about it. And a woman has that. So you're empowered. You have so much power over a man. And women know that. So if a woman gets an attitude, you're in a relationship, something goes wrong, automatically, that's cut off. You're going to hold that man hostage now because you're mad at him. When you have a fulfillment to come together and help one another. But if you're mad at me and now you don't want to give me any sex, and I go out to this job looking good, you got all these women chasing me, and here I'm coming home and it's cold, what you want me to do? Men are weak sexually, very weak. A man can go probably 10 minutes without sex. That long, if that long. A woman can go a whole week without sex. So that's, that, and it gives men power when they having that, when they having sex, when they having intercourse. It gives us power. It makes us, and hearing from other women, some women just let me take that back. I ain't gonna say that. But
well, let me ask you something. Excuse me. Let me ask you something about, all that. What about if you have a woman who does give you all of that? Cook, clean, satisfy your needs, and just good to you, just, all of that. So why do you think, not saying it's you, but why do you think that's not enough?
Well, I'm gonna go from this point of view. I was going to get to that. There's a second point, okay, about when men cheat on women. That is because they never seen a man being faithful to a woman in their life within either their father, where most of the father's not there, okay? So the men that they see around them is always cheating. So that's bred into them without them even understanding it. Like their uncles or the elder cousins in the family, they always say, "Yo, man, you need to holler at that girl. You need to do this." Like they basically been trained to sleep with other women. All right.
Learned behavior.
Okay, yeah, but they learn behavior, and I don't want to call it being sexual or being a sexual deviant, but that's more likely being a sexual deviant that's passed on to them, and that spirit is what's in you. Even if they get a great woman, talking about a great woman who make great money and everything else, because that's how they was trained. They're still inclined to cheat on women because it's some cultures with men is you're supposed to have more than one woman, and some are like, I don't even think a man should have just one woman. That was taught to them. All right.
Yeah, I had an aunt growing up. Not to cut you off. I had an aunt growing up, and she used to always say, you have the calcium in your nail beds, little white dots. And I had that growing up. And I'm going to tell you how this is inbred in us from growing up. My aunt would say, boy, you got all those women that you're going to have when you get older, just from counting the dots in my nail beds. So she taught me that a man is supposed to have more than one woman. So I'm like, so then it was just reinforced growing up. So when you taught a certain way and then you read and you find out the real way, there was an imbalance. There was an imbalance that it's not even at all. Because one way you're supposed to be this one woman, this way, your homeboys, your upbringing, everything that you were taught, that weighs on you. It's a badge of honor to have more than one woman. So then you find out the truth, and you find out you're only supposed to have one woman and be loyal to one woman. There's an imbalance. There's an imbalance growing up, and this is what men are facing today. There's an imbalance. So we wrestle with that. We wrestle with that, and where I got my definition was from the church. That's where I got my definition of sleeping with one woman. But I was taught all my life that the more the merrier. So now I'm like, okay, I'm used to all these women coming at me or me going at them, but that's not the right thing to do. So now I get into this one relationship and we get into an argument. So what do I have to recall on? What I know, right?
That you was learned behavior, right?
Learned behavior.
Understood. That's
profound.
Good. You were going to say, Juwanna?
Well, he kind of answered it, took it to another place, because I wanted to know, like Darius at first said, that you meet a woman and then she changes. Why she had to change? Why wasn't it you changed, which gave you the excuse to go out and cheat? You know, it's easy for a man to say, well, I'm doing this because what she's doing or what she's not, when within yourself, you're doing it because it's in you and that's what you want to do.
No, not necessarily, not all the time. Because a man really wants to be with a woman. Okay, I'll put it like this. If you have a male friend, okay, not no husband, not relationship, nothing like that. Y'all love each other because y'all love each other. Okay? That love continues. All right. So what you're looking at is you're going to love that person forever. Now, if you take that and you make them into a relationship, that love should still remain the same, but it doesn't. For some reason, when you get into like an actual physical relationship, and I'm going to give you respect what you're saying. Sometimes it can be men, sometimes it can be women, and a lot of times it's both of them, where they fighting for power. And like any relationship goes through that struggle for power. Most people they don't say it, but it does, because she's trying to get her points across. He's trying to get his point across. He's trying to say, okay, this is how we're doing something. She's saying this is how we're doing something, and it becomes a power struggle. So then it's almost like you start being a little bit enemies with each other. And then once that wedge is put in there, it just a little bit by little bit. Y'all start being tit for tat for each other. And this comes when you in a relationship for a long time. Okay? So like if somebody say one thing to you, 10 years ago probably wouldn't have meant nothing to you, but now you ready to blow up over it.
Yeah.
And we as men, we hold stuff in so seriously, and we respond to it like through our actions, not through our words. Women respond to things through their words, okay? And our actions sometimes is stepping out.
Yes.
Yes.
So can I just give just an insight, because it's interesting that we're talking about this specifically. I had a conversation, it's like with two different couples within the last 2 days. And one was a man, and he was talking to me about, his girlfriend, not giving it up and all that, just what you guys are saying. He was saying the same thing. And it was interesting because he's like, I give her everything and I believe it, because I know him. And then on the opposite end, it was a female, and she was talking about not giving it up because he's not hearing her. So she's telling him what she needs. She's telling him what she wants from him. And because he feels like, oh, well, everything is good. I don't know, what are you complaining about? And so she feels that, like you said, I believe it was Darius, maybe Al. Oh, well, you're always using sex as a weapon, and so I'm just interested, interested in hearing you guys' feedback on that, because sometimes with women, that's all they feel that they have to put on the table to hopefully, have a discussion about what she needs. So I'm just interested in what your feedback will be on that.
You said something popped in my head, and I heard this a long time ago, that a woman will give up sex to get love. A man will say, I love you to get sex.
Hmm.
I was like, man, that's deep.
It
That's
is.
so deep.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so those two different roles. Those two different roles, it's like there's no common ground in that, but you're just coming together. So men are projectile. We project stuff. Women are receptile. You receive stuff. You give a woman a seed, she gives you a baby. You give a woman an attitude, she gives you help. You give a woman flowers, she gives you a home. It's just like you're receivers. You're supposed to receive. So whatever we give y'all, you're gonna receive it. Put it in your incubator stage and give it back times 1,000. Y'all were made for that. My thing that I've learned over the years is that when a woman compliments me, oh my gosh, baby, when you took that garbage out, oh, your muscles and your legs look so good. Oh my gosh. Let me see. You will never have to worry about you taking out no garbage no more in life.
Yes.
Because you now impacted me. So whatever I do, I'm gonna look for your approval.
Wow.
A woman will talk her problems. We are here to solve your problems.
Ooh.
That's what we're here. We are. That's what men do. We like to figure things out. But sometimes we don't. It doesn't need to be figured out from a woman's point of view. Y'all just need us to listen. And a lot of men don't get that.
Right.
A lot of men don't get that listening part. Y'all want to just be a soundboard. I don't need you to fix nothing. I don't need you to understand. Just listen. So it's two different planes. And once you come to a plane where you can understand that there is really nothing, there is no written law on how to do this thing.
That's good. Communication, and like, Darius said, when we get into these relationships, it was something that attracted us to that person in the first place. And I think after a long period of time being in a relationship, we lose that. And that's where a lot of relationships go south. If we can continue to keep what it is that attracted us to the person in the first place and keep that same momentum going, like in the beginning, then I think a lot of relationships will be successful. as we enhance on everything that you all were saying. Hey, baby, you know, that you take out that garbage pretty good. You look good taking out that garbage. Babe, your food is so good. You know, I love the way you cook. You know, if we continue to encourage each other and to compliment each other, I think that goes a long way, because then you feel like you're appreciated. And
Yeah, it's like when women like it too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
Women
that's what I
like
just
compliments,
said.
don't they?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Mhm.
If we do it, if we reciprocate that in our relationship and constantly do that, then I think that helps build a healthy relationship and balance along with communication.
Because God made men to want sex. He made women so for the relationship part. So we need the intercourse, but y'all need the closeness. So
well, since we're talking about sex and intimacy, I think I'll go ahead and ask this question. I'm going to ask this question. Okay. Do you feel romance is important in a relationship? If so, what things do you do to keep things spicy in the bedroom, or just because?
I absolutely think that's like highly, like almost top notch, okay, on the list. And far as men, romance ain't always about like doing romantic things as far as flowers and all that type of stuff. Sometimes romance might just be walking down the street, or she's walking in front of you, just hold her butt. It sounds silly. I mean, I'm serious, but some stuff like that. I mean, or you come up to her, just kiss her on the neck. All right. It's a little small, intimate things that women like more than the big gestures. Now, every once in a while, you still got to do the big gestures. But from my experience with women, they like the small things. All right. And it sometimes be the small things that you do that you don't even know that you're doing because you just love them, that makes them have that love for you even when they get mad at you.
Yeah, I agree with what Darian said. It's we always want to please our woman. So if romance is the beginning to pleasing, then we're gonna go for it. My thing is, when romance leaves, how do you get it back? Because if it's been done this way and now the woman's not receiving this, because like I said, you're receivers. That's what you'll do. So if we're trying to give you something and you're not receiving it, we feel like we have to find another avenue to try to get in there. So, like, honey, let's do something different. Like what? And then you like, everything is a strike. It's a strike. No. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But then you have to come back and say, okay, let's try this. Because what I learned from my experience when I'm with a woman, and it's like, okay, we did this, we did that. I like to see what's gonna make you happy, what's gonna make you smile, what makes you excited, about me. So if I ask you, baby, how does this look? How does this look on me? And you're like, oh, it looks all right, and you don't pay no attention to that. And I'm like, oh, she don't like me the way she used to. So now I gotta find something else to come in and make her feel that way. Make her feel happy about seeing me.
Okay, so with that being said, so what would you do? What things could you come up with to keep things spicy and interesting in your relationship? Give me an example of what you would do.
Well, with me, I would find out what she likes, because sometimes, as far as romance is concerned, building her dreams up, helping her accomplish her goals, teaching her how to love herself, accomplish her goals, and make her feel great about herself every time she's around me. Like she wants to be with me. That's like, we got a spiritual connection. So romantically, that's, in my mind, I'd rather see her happy like that. Because once a woman is like that happy, that romance has come naturally.
What was the question again?
So I take it that y'all both feel that romance is important in a relationship.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm hearing that what she wants. Sometimes a woman want you to come and think of something to do to put a smile on her face. So what one or two things that you would do to say, you know, baby, I appreciate you,
I got you.
you know, from your lens, not from our lens, but from your lens, what would you do?
Look, a woman loves to be pampered from her head to toe. So if I see you over there twisting your hair, guess where I'm coming? How do you do that? I'm twisting with you.
Okay.
Fingernails, toenails, whatever. You know, you want me to iron something?
Mhm.
That's how you get into the woman's mental. When you get there, you got her. So I'm gonna come cater to you to find out what you like. You like your scalp greased, parted, massaged?
He going old school, ain't he?
Yeah, right.
Women love that type of stuff. So I have to come to you and find out what you like. You like to be touched? You like the massages on the shoulders? What do you want?
What about the rubbing of the feet, man?
Rubbing the feet?
Oh, you got me there. You got me.
Yo, get in between them toes and massage them. That take a woman all the way out.
I wanna learn that woman. I wanna find out what makes her giggle, what makes her smile, what makes her cry. I need to know everything. So when I see her crying and I say, baby, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. That's a low. I don't even like asking that question there, because if you're crying, obviously something's wrong. But to open up and say what's wrong, instead of coming directly out and say this is wrong, you got to go from the supermarket to the guy cutting you off on the highway to your job, to this way, to that way, to that way, all the way to say, oh, I just got a phone call or something.
So can I say something? I think that's great. And I think this actually falls right into the next question that I have, if it's okay. My question is, why do men meet a woman, fall in love, she falls in love, you fall in love, but then decides, you know what, I love you, but can you not do that? Or can you not go there? Why do you go out so much? Or, you know, why do you try to change her after you both might have fell in love with each other? Like, you loved her when you met her. Like, well, once you met her and got to know her, you fell in love with her. You loved what you saw. You loved how she was. Then all of a sudden now, maybe y'all moved in together and then things changed. Well, babe, why are you going out so much? She was going out a lot when you met her, when y'all was dating, you know, things like that. Why do some men like to change what they was interested in?
Well, I think we ain't trying to change them. It's things that when we first got in a relationship with them, we just didn't see because we wasn't like living with them, spent a lot of time with them. Like it could be like some small things like, and believe me, sometimes men think like this. Man, oh, she gonna give me some food. She ain't bring me nothing to drink. Or she give me a cup of water in a dirty cup.
Right.
It could be the smallest things that just make me start thinking like, damn. Because if you've seen a good woman,
right,
being raised up, and then you see a woman that you're with who's not doing that, and even though women say don't compare me with another woman, women do the same thing to men, but men do it also. We like, well, I know that these women I raised up with did this or they did that, and she don't do that. And I mean, of course, we're wrong with that because we shouldn't be trying to superimpose another person onto that to your mate, but that's in us. You only could know what you like from what you've seen in other women.
So true.
Right. And I know we got to wrap this up, so I'm gonna say this real quick. Sex clouds up everything, and I try to talk because for a lot of times, I worked in group homes with kids growing up, and sex clouds a lot of things. You meet a person, the first thing you want to do is have sex and get it out the way, but you didn't see that every time you're having sex, you're putting on sunglasses. You put on sunglasses and they're getting darker and darker. So you don't see that she don't like to clean. You don't see that he don't like to take garbage out. You can't see every time you're having sex, you're putting on those glasses. So now the glasses come off and you're in a relationship like, what the hell? I didn't see all of that. Yeah, because sex blinds it.
That's personified right there. I like that one.
No, that's good right there. That's good.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's truth. That's definitely truth. So just lastly, I just really want to get this in before we wrap up. My last question is, what would you like your legacy to be?
Mm.
My legacy, I think, Al already know me. My legacy is that I leave enough ways for my children, grandchildren, great children to be able to financially take care of themselves, while I'm constantly teaching them how to take care of their money, how to invest their money, and ways for them to set money up for their next generations.
That is so important.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
I agree. I agree with everything that he said. I want, when I leave this planet, I want to be known as the guy that did something to change the next generation, because that's the most you're gonna get anyway.
Right.
Sometimes you might be 3-4 generations down the line that you'll change, but the immediate generation is what you really should change to the better.
That's
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
Crystal, you have anything to say before we leave? Juwanna?
Well,
So I'll let our host go first. Do you have anything, Juwanna?
No, I just think that this was very enlightening for Darius and Albert. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your vision on stuff. Hopefully some of the listeners that are listening or will be listening, could take heed to a lot of what you said. I think it was important.
And I want
us.
to leave with this as well. For your men, young men and men at all ages, you have to get in the gym. When you work out your libido, everything works better. You last longer in the bed. Get in the gym, work out. If you don't use it, you lose it. Hello.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Maybe another time you guys could come on, talk more about what you all do. You said you work in a gym and all that stuff, so maybe we'll have you back on so you can give some insight on health. And Darius, you're about finances and things like that. So we really thank you all for coming on and enjoying it. And I've enjoyed you guys tonight. So
I enjoy seeing all of y'all.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Great topic.
Yes.
We should have a part 2 to this.
Yes.
Hey,
This wasn't enough time.
I was just loaded.
Hey, but my thing, we might have to turn around the lens through the women's eyes.
Exactly.
No, we may have to invite you guys. We may have to invite you guys for that one. Seriously, we may have to invite you so at least you guys can get an insight from what women think and feel.
Right.
So I want to again personally thank you guys for coming on. It was very interesting, and it wasn't long enough. It really wasn't, because it was really an insight from me, just to hear your truth. So I want to thank you. And, for everyone that's listening, if you like what you hear and what you see, please click like, please share and subscribe. We need you guys.
Somebody.
Yes. So until next time, life lessons for a time such as now. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye.